If you struggled with the abundance of comedy in Thor, Love and Thunder, then maybe you'll enjoy Black Panther Wakanda Forever, because this movie is no joke. Hello, I'm High Heel Knight. This is my review of Black Panther Wakanda Forever. It's a 2022 action drama superhero movie, and it's part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. It's also a loving homage to the late Chadwick Boseman, who portrayed the superhero in previous MCU films. King T'Challa of Wakanda has died of an undisclosed illness. Although Queen Romonda resumed her position as leader of the African nation, her country no longer has its traditional superhuman protector. The other industrialized nations of the world hope to take advantage of Wakanda's vulnerability to find new sources of vibranium. Surprisingly, there is another isolated nation-state with vibranium resources hidden within the depths of the Latin American Atlantic coast, named Talokan. Namor, the amphibious mutant monarch of Talokan, proposes a dangerous alliance with Princess Suri and Wakanda to conquer the surface world. He's not the kind of man that takes no for an answer. Now, there is one mid-credit scene in the movie, but no after-credit scene like most MCU films. So once you see that mid-credit scene, feel free to leave. I enjoyed this movie very much. Like most Marvel movies, it has cool special effects, it has cool action, it has a lot of fun moments and a lot of exciting moments, and the comedy is present, but this film is a drama, and I really appreciate that. Lots of the movies, they have death, they have some tragedy, they have some type of failure, and by the end of the movie, everyone's happy-go-lucky and ready for the next adventure. But in this movie, death, tragedy, failure, they all have weight. You feel them. Pain is a part of this movie, not just attributed to the loss of Chadwick Boseman, but just the pressure of ruling a nation. I really appreciate that the drama is strong in this movie. Although it is a bit much because I'm not in a hurry to see it again. The movie's rewatchable, but I was so just emotionally drained by the end of the film. I'm going to wait a while before I see it again. Usually I can't wait to see a superhero movie again. I want to see it the next day or even the next summary. This one, I'm going to take my time before I dive back in. The other concern I had about this movie was how they're going to explain how Namor's nation and Wakanda fall into conflict. I mean, Namor's nation is on near the Gulf of Mexico, and Wakanda is in the middle of Africa, so that's the Atlantic Ocean and half of the largest continent on Earth separating these cultures. Why would they even meet each other, let alone fall into conflict? How they fall into conflict does make sense, and I liked it, I respect it, I thought it was an interesting choice, and I really think that it could lead to interesting things going forward in the MCU. Now, as long with the negatives, there's only a minor one and a major one I have with this movie. The minor one is the design of the Ironheart suit. Now, this movie introduces Riri Williams, and I guess they're going to save the more comic book accurate version of her suit for an upcoming Disney Plus series. But in this movie, I just don't like how it looks. The first time I saw the suit was a YouTube thumbnail that I happened to stumble upon, and I thought it was for the Transformers. I didn't think it was about Wakanda Forever. And now that I've seen the movie, I think the lawyers from the Metroid franchise are going to give the Marvel lawyers a call. It's not a bad looking suit, it's just I didn't like it. My biggest complaint is about the portrayal of Shuri in this movie. Shuri is presented as a non-believer. She doesn't believe the astral plane exists. She doesn't really believe that Ba, the Panther god of Wakanda, exists. And she's dived into science in her research in order to hide from her grief. I'm sorry, that doesn't make any sense. Her brother T'Challa would have affirmed that the astral plane exists. Her father T'Chaka would have affirmed that the astral plane exists. She has met Thor and knows that Asgard in the 9 realms exists. She has met Doctor Strange and knows that magic in the mirror dimension exists. She has met Ant-Man and knows that time travel in the quantum realm exists. Shuri has encountered hundreds of space aliens, both good and evil. I'm sure Wakanda covertly investigated what happened at the end of the Eternals movie. Plus, this movie affirms the existence of mermaids and mermen from a hidden underwater society. Once you have mermaids and magic and quantum realms and Norse gods and cosmic gems that can change the universe at a snap. You might as well just believe everything and anything, okay? Chicken Little, Stuart Little, Little John, and the ghost of Little Richard could pop up in the MCU as an alternate version of the Fantastic Four, and nobody should blink an eye. Plus, we, the audience, just came off Thor: Love and Thunder, which featured an entire city full of gods from numerous faiths. There was the Moon Knight series that had the Egyptian gods. There was the Shang-Chi movie, which had dragons and Pokemon creatures. There was the Miss Marvel series that had the clandestine people from the Nord dimension. Zombies, werewolves, and vampires are being introduced into the MCU. There shouldn't be any kind of non-believers in the MCU. Every faith, every mythology, every legend, every conspiracy theory is pretty much valid at this point.
It's crazy.
Scott, I get emails from a raccoon, so nothing sounds crazy anymore.
So as far as my verdict, like most MCU movies, this has a lot of cool action, has a lot of cool special effects, has a lot of cool fight choreography. It's really thrilling, it's really exciting, it's really fantastical. But unlike most MCU movies, death, pain, trauma, failure, loss, those all have meaning in this film, and I greatly appreciate it, even if it doesn't make me want to rush back into the theater to see it. And it wasn't for that, as well as the bizarre design for Ironheart and the baffling decision that Shuri is somehow a non-believer despite all she knows and all we know about the MCU, this would be a near perfect film. So I give Black Panther: Wakanda Forever an A- grade. That was my review of the movie. I hope you enjoyed it. Like button, subscribe, comment, share. You know what to do. I am High Heel Knight. Find inspiration everywhere.